Hello YouTube. So first of all, Joe's beside me, so if you're giggling at the fact I'm talking to a camera, I look very stupid. At the same time I want to fuss and there's people down there probably going to get on, so if they come behind me I've got to stop talking because I look like a prat. But we're going to buy something to splurge. It's an expensive product. So yeah, we're on the way. And before anyone says it, yes I know I look like Jason Bradbury from the Gadget Show before that comment gets snuck in there, so let's see what I get. Well, what can I say? The idea was to go in, film the pickup, come back, unbox, job's a good one. But the bus ride was filmed yesterday and now a day has passed and it's nearly night time. In fact it is night time, it's nearly bedtime. And yeah, it just didn't pan out how I wanted. So first of all, what I went in to get, which is pretty obvious from what I've been saying on the last video, that is a PlayStation 3, which, to say a week ago, if I could go into the future and see one of my videos of me holding this, I'd be quite shocked. But yes, I have a PlayStation 3 and I'm absolutely over the moon. So, as I said in the past video, I haven't got the money. Every gamer says he ain't got the money, but gamers just skint themselves, don't they? So, it's Joe's birthday in about 2 weeks, so she's buggered because I've just spent all my dosh and I've got about 10 quid now for the month for myself. So yeah, I can't buy much, but anyway, I went in, went to Game Station, and what I wanted originally was to get the PS3 Fat one because I thought, obviously I've got like the Fat PS2 and the original PS1, and I thought, well, if I get the Fat PS3, then like in 10 years from now when I'm on my PS4 or 5, I'll at least have the original PS3. So I went in and brought one, and I think I got the 60 gig model, and I think it was about £140, and they had a deal on with the game and stuff. So I picked that up, came back home, started playing on it last night, enjoying it. It was a bit of a loud console and a really heavy console. I had to carry it all the way through town yesterday, and I just like burn marks in my hands where I was carrying the bag about. But anyway, got it home, chucked a game in, it played, chucked another game in, it didn't, cleaned it, put it back in, and it did. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then in the morning it did it again. I thought, well, you know what, I've just spent like 130 quid. I don't want to have something that kind of works. So I just thought, sod it, and went straight back in town today. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well just chuck like an extra 40 quid at it and just get a brand new slim model, which I know is going to work. So I think all in all I spent £169, I think it was, for the 160 gig model. At the same time, because I was getting a new console that was doing brand new games which should be $39.99 at £25, so I picked up Deus Ex or Deus Ex, however you say it, and I'm shocked at this game because I don't know loads about it. I just know a lot of people saying, oh, it's a good game, and I thought, well, because it's brand new, and the only other thing I could have picked up really was Dead Island, which is coming tomorrow anyway, so I thought, I'll pick this up. And I've been playing it all day and I am so impressed. This is like my Mass Effect. Like when I first played that, I was like, is this going to be good? And it just pulled me in. And this is doing exactly what Mass Effect did. And like, for one, the detail in there, like, I just quite kind of shocked when I came out of a grate and I was walking around being a bit stealth there. And the first thing I did is like, I got out, stretched my back and jumped and just made a little thud. And people downstairs were like, what's that? And I was like, that's pretty good, because there's sometimes in games you can do stealth, but then you can like make it like jump around and do stupid things, and you're like, I'm sure it would have made somebody aware of my presence by now. But no, this is a very clever game. I could just sit here for another 15 minutes just talking about all the features and everything about this game, but I won't, because this is a pickup video. But I may do a review on that. But yeah, I'm only probably about an hour, 2 hours into that, and I was going to complete it as fast as possible and then sell it, and then hopefully sell it for about £25-ish, and then probably get my money back on it. But I am not going to force myself to do that quite quick. I just want to enjoy it, and may even end up keeping it and playing it again. I don't know. I'm just very shocked at that game, because it's always nice to buy a game that you know nothing about and then you're just like, wow, this is kind of cool. So that's the best game I got out of the bunch. The other one that Joe picked up is White Knight Chronicles. She had a look on YouTube and says that she fancied playing this game. I know nothing about it, so I can't really talk about it. I quickly had a look at it and it looks stunning, but I don't know if that's just because it's a nice new shiny console to me and I'm all excited for it, or if it's just because it's a stunning game. And the other thing is just basic what you need to have with the PlayStation 3, and that's Little Big Planet, and I think that was £5. Oh, by the way, that was £10. Yes, I picked that up £5. I've got to do it because Little Big Planet, I'm not saying it's probably going to be the best game in the entire world, but I wanted a PlayStation 3 for exclusives, and that's the only exclusive really I could afford and justify buying at the moment, because I went to get Uncharted 1 and I cannot find it anywhere unless it's Platinum, and I will not buy a Platinum, so I'm going to have to get that online or something like that for the moment, but I'm not bothered. That's going to keep me going, and I've got my Dead Island coming tomorrow, so I'm quite chuffed. So yes, I now have a PlayStation 3 and I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm going to go, and I think I'm going to do a video of PS3 versus Xbox, because when I first got this I was like, no, Xbox is way better because they should have done this. And then after a bit I got used to it and I was like, actually that's way better than Microsoft. So I'm going to play this for about a week or so, and then I'm just going to say my 2 cents between the two consoles. So one other item that I picked up in GameStation is they've got a retro department upstairs, and they had some really good offers, and I just stopped looking at them because they're selling like 5 retro games for £5 and stuff like that, and it's just stupid. But just as I was leaving, I looked in the glass cabinet and we found the Neo Geo Pocket Colour. And I've never really actually seen one of these. I think, in fact, we saw one when we went down to the Game Link, but aside from that, never really actually seen one of these. And I was like, oh cool, it's a Neo Geo. So I picked it up and I had a look at it, and the battery cover is missing, and I was like, okay then, and that's fine, and it's obviously unboxed, no power cable, but you can pick these parts up off the internet. I was like, well, how much are we going to be looking for? And it had a price tag of £4.99, and I thought, well, I'm having that. So I don't know how much it's going to cost for the bits on top of it, but at the end of the day, it's £4.99 for a Neo Geo Pocket, which I think is absolutely amazing find. So I'm very chuffed with that. So I no longer have any money. I'm going to say what I do at the end of every pickup. That's it now. I'm not buying any more games because I'm skint, but I've got an addiction, and well, there you go. I've got an addiction. That's the first step to actually admit that I have an addiction. But I don't want to get rid of that addiction. I love my addiction. So yes, that's it. PlayStation 3. Never thought I'd actually get one. Over the moon that I've got one, and I'll go into a bit more detail of my things I like and hate about the two consoles later. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.